Hello and welcome to the Catching Up podcast with Ananya and Katrina, two college friends who are doing their best to keep catching up while pursuing their goals and dreams. We both coincidentally had near-death experiences this week, and Ananya had hers yesterday and we have not talked through it, and I have not told her about mine, so we're going to talk through them and reflect on them a bit, I guess. Ananya, do you want to start off?
Honestly, I want you to start off.
Okay.
And then I will connect with you. You'd be surprised.
Okay. So mine was like 2 days ago. I came home for lunch after, it was a work day. It was a Friday. I came home for lunch. Then I was going back to work and I was rushing a little bit. And as I was pulling out of my parking garage, it was like trash day and there were dumpsters out in the road. And so I couldn't see to the left of me. And so I was just like kind of slowly pulling out, could only see like a few feet at a time. And then just like whoosh, this car goes by like 90 miles an hour, super fast. It was probably like, it felt like 90, it was probably like 75, 70. So I didn't get hit. So I was fine.
Just shook.
Right after it happened, I was just like, that was so fast. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was like really angry.
Yeah.
And then like after I was pissed off, I was like, it started to hit me. Like if I had been like 2 seconds faster, he like literally would have hit me in the driver's door. And like at that speed, like I wouldn't have seen it coming or like even known it had happened. And so then like on the rest of the drive to work, which is like 5 minutes, I was just like, the whole time I was like, oh my God. Sorry. I had meetings to go to. And so like I went back to work. I like went to my meetings, was not present at all of them. If you like saw me working that afternoon, you probably would have just like seen me stare at the same spot on the screen and like not actually doing anything or thinking anything. And I was like journaling a lot when I got back because I was like, I just like need to process this and what happened. But like, yeah.
Did you feel anything like, I'm so grateful for life, or like something like, oh, I love my parents, or who were the people you were trying to think of at the moment?
So I feel like my experience was a little bit weird.
And quick.
It was quick, yeah. And I was talking with a friend who like had a near-death experience as well, because we've talked about hers, and hers was more like seeing it come at her, like she like knew she was gonna die, versus mine was like retroactive. So like bullet whizzes by you, you don't realize it till it's gone, like that kind of reaction. And so like I didn't have the time where I was like reflecting on my life and like knowing I was gonna die and like making peace with it. It was just like, oh my God, that would have killed me. And for me it was more like one of the first thoughts I had about it was like, how useless of a way to die would that have been? Like getting hit on a neighborhood road by a car going like super fast, trying to make a stoplight. He was trying to make a stoplight. There was like a stoplight that was at the end of the street that was turning yellow, and it had clearly been yellow for a long time because he was going that fast. White Buick. If you know anybody with a white Buick, tell them to drive better. But yeah, that was my.
Do you think
like,
you're going to be more cautious
thought.
now?
Yeah, that was one of my thoughts that afternoon was like, I want to be more cautious. Not that I'm like a reckless driver. Like I think I'm a pretty good driver. I want to be more cautious because I don't want to be the cause of that happening to somebody else. Because like, I don't think he even knows, or she or whoever, I don't think they even know that they almost hit me. Like, I don't think they're even aware that that even occurred. So I just don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the cause of that. Like, I do have an awareness now when I drive. Like, when I was driving home from work that day, I was like very like taking in all the surroundings, just like being very careful. But luckily, like I do have to drive through that spot because it's leaving my parking garage every single day. So I'm just going to be exposed to it all the time, which I think is probably a good thing. But I do want to be more careful just to like not, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. And I'm happy you're safe.
Thank you. Thank you. It was definitely like I could like feel my mindset like shifting throughout the day after that. Um, and it's only been like a few days since that. So I feel like it's good to like talk about it now and like document what I'm thinking about it right now. And I can see how that changes over time. And I'm really
Yeah.
glad that I was like journaling about it during work because like some of those, like for me, I can remember the moment very, very clearly. But like everything after that is very blurry. And so I'm glad that I started writing things down so that I
You
can
know, I
like
love
know
that.
my thought
I,
process.
yeah, I love that you journaled it so you can like go back to it because it's fresh right now. You remember all the details, but you're
Yeah,
not always going to remember it. And it is something that's life changing, even though it's small and quick incident. And so it's good that you journaled about it. I think I'm going to do too, but I haven't yet.
you
I'm still
should. You should.
processing my.
Yeah. One more thought, and then I want to know about yours. But I feel like it is a big shift in mindset that has happened from it. Just like it's just like an awareness that I think you get from something like that. That like when before you have any experience like that, you're like, oh, like I know I could die at any moment. Like I know life could end whenever. But like now it's like I know what that means for me, and I know like what my reaction to it was, and I like know how it's changing, like how exactly I want to do things. And I think that is just like something that unfortunately you have to get through the experience. And so I think like this is like best case scenario where I like got the experience and survived it. And
Yeah.
now I have like all the reflections and everything from it. Um, but yeah. Yeah. So tell me about what happened to you because I know you fell into a stream and that's all I know.
Yeah. Okay, so it starts at 6 a.m. when you, Katrina, text me, Ananya, have you ever had a near-death experience? And I'm like, why is she talking about death experiences right now? And
Oh
it
no,
was
did I
6
like
a.m.
manifest that for you?
And I was like on my way towards this bungee jumpy experience that I signed for. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, why would she say that right now?
I was asking you because I was like, this would be a good podcast topic.
Podcast topic. I know, but just the timing of it all. And then before I start my story, I was with six other people. So I'm going to name them because they are the important characters. There was one guy named Pete. He's in his 40s, sturdy, big man. Um, Two guys, Appa and Sumit. And I usually like go hiking with them. They're like really good at hiking. And then Sumit's wife, Pragya, and then another guy, William. And so we were six of us. And we were all going for a bungee jumping experience to Bridge to Nowhere. We were going to hike up the bridge and we were going to jump off it. And that was all we were thinking. That's going to be pretty easy. We have like ropes and safety gears and we're going to be fine. They have 100% safety record. And so we were really excited for it. We looked at the trail, it looked pretty simple. Even though it was 5 miles one way, it looked pretty simple. And then we were just so excited because we had to cross 3 streams. And the current was very high. They were just like flowing. And I was so excited. I'm like, this is so exciting. And it was so beautiful. So as soon as we got to the park, um, we were a little late. And so the bungee jumping group, they already left for the hike. But we were like, oh, this is not a big deal. We can do it. We have hiked before and this doesn't look like a any different hike, so we can just like do it by ourselves. So we were just taking our own time, doing it on our pace. We knew how to cross the river streams. They were like not that deep, they were kind of shallow, and there were other people coming too. So we felt confident. So this is while crossing the first stream. I crossed it, all of my other friends crossed it. It felt challenging for the first time because the pressure was so high that we could not hold ourselves, and so like we got helped by other people in our group, especially Pete. He was like, oh, I'm gonna help everyone, and there were like 30 more other people coming, so Pete stayed in the stream to help all of them cross it. And we were kind of leading the group, so we didn't see there was a rope a few like steps ahead. And so we were just crossing the stream without a rope,
Oh
and
my
we thought that's how
gosh.
it's supposed to be. Um, anyway, Pete is helping all of these other 30 people. All of the other ones from our group, we made it. But Pete had an incident where one of the ladies he was helping fell in the stream, and she started flowing. And Pete was trying to help her, and he also slipped away, and they both started flowing in the stream. But anyway, there were so many other people. They helped them, and they didn't go farther. And that was it. He got out of water, and we were like, oh, we got to be more careful. And I was just laughing about it because he got saved quick. I thought it wasn't that big of a deal because, like, I didn't go through it, and I thought the water was shallow. He got saved. He did have some back injuries, but Pete was also taking it in a fun way. It's like, okay, we just got to be more careful. He was like drenched completely. Uh, anyway, we continued our hike. The hike was a little dangerous. I'm not gonna lie. It was like just shoulder length path up the mountain. So it's like if you're a little scared or if you're a little, whoop, if you slip a little, like you're down the hill. And I am somebody who's so scared of height, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what is going on? And like, there was this path with like loose gravel, and just like, it was like kind of flat, and you just have to like rock climb through it. And if one bad step and you would slip, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. And I was like in it, but I was screaming for my life. And I'm like, if I slip, like I'm dead. There's no way anyone can save me. It was so dangerous because of loose gravel. And I think that was the scariest part for me of the hike, because it's like one wrong footing or one loose grip from your hand and you're gone. Anyway, my friends helped me. They cheered me on. We got through that part. We were still on the hike. We were like 3 miles done. And then this was the third river crossing. That water was like extremely high pressure flow and a little bit more deep. So like waist high water. And it was my friends, Sumit and Abba, they went into the water first to see if they can like find a hold and it's safe to cross. And honestly, they were like, okay, this is pretty safe. They helped Will go cross the stream first. And so he did that. And next was my turn. And then here I go crossing the stream. Appa was helping me first. And then Sumit was on the other side trying to like help us cross the stream. I fell. To help me, Appa was like holding me. He fell.
Oh no.
And we were both flowing down the stream. And so like Sumit came running after us. He was like, I need to save them. And he fell. And three of us flowing down the stream. I lost it. Like there was water in my nose, ears, everywhere. I couldn't see. I couldn't stop. The pressure was so high. I was just like flowing. We got really far from where we were. And there were times when we were able to hold on to each other and then just slip away. And then there were like big, like, I don't know, like level changes. And so like you're going like this and this and this and this. And it was just like up and down, up and down. Scariest thing ever. And then Appa like flowed a little farther than I was, and then Sumit like pushed me to the right, and then I was still flowing, and then suddenly there was a tree branch I saw, and then I just held onto it, and it was that tree branch that saved me. I swear. After that, I was gone, and I was pretty sure I was gonna die. I
Oh my
was
god.
pretty sure I was gonna die because I couldn't breathe. I could see my glasses float away, and I was injured everywhere on my back, my knees, my hands, and I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't see anything, and I couldn't stop myself from flowing away.
Oh my
And
god.
I was crying. I was crying when I held on that branch, and I was screaming for life. And there were like two more strangers there. They ran and they like helped me hold onto the branch, and then helped me like climb out. Sumit was there too. He was the one who pushed me to the right, and then he somehow held onto the same branch. And then Appa was able to hold on a rock a little bit after, and then we all finally got off the stream.
Oh my
And
god.
I was shook. I couldn't breathe. I was panicking. My whole body was shaking. I was like, what was that? So we took a minute, and then we couldn't find Pete. We had no idea where Pete was. And we were just, it was mentally too much to even think about it. Like, where is Pete? We were screaming for him, and then suddenly he came walking from the other side. So at some point, he apparently crossed the stream without us knowing. So that was a relief after all that panic. And then, yeah, we just like sat there for a minute, and we were like, what should we do? Like,
Oh my god.
what is this? Like, do we just go back? Like, we were mentally done. But then we decided to just continue the hike, finish it, because we were already like 3.5 miles done. And then going back would mean crossing 3 streams again all by ourselves.
Right.
And then going ahead was like no further stream crossings, but then going and doing the bungee jump. So we continued the hike. We got to the bungee spot. We were all shook. We were like silent for a little bit. We just sat there. Dried ourselves. My bag was with me, my phone, everything in my bag. Everything was just drenched in water. Anyway, we got some like first aid from the people, and we just sat there, and then we all bungee jumped. And that was the scariest part too. It was so hard. My friends were fine. Somit was amazing. He did it like twice, and he was flying. Two of my other friends, they were like scared, but they did it. I gave up twice. I was like there standing on, there was this little space where you can stand from where you have to jump. And I'm like, I can't stand here. This is just too scary. And it was like the jump was big. And so I'm like, I don't think I'm mentally prepared for this after what has happened, the PTSD and all the things in my brain. I gave up twice, and then the bungee jumping guy was like, Ananya, why are you telling yourself you're not capable of doing this? Like, what are you scared of? Like, we have all the safety. We have perfect safety record. Like, speak positively to yourself and tell yourself you're capable of this. Do not let your brain stop you. And so the third time after listening that pep talk, I finally jumped. It was still, it was just scary. And then when I was like down there, I was screaming for my life. Like I was screaming nonstop. And my eyes were closed, but then there was a moment where I had to like open my eyes. They would send a clip down that I have to buckle on myself. And I have to catch it, buckle on myself, and like go back up. And I'm like, how is this happening? Like, what is this? Like, I'm in the middle
What
of
choices?
the once in a lifetime choice. I'm in the middle of the air, hanging by a rope, and I'm trying to like buckle myself, and I have to open my eyes, and there's just that river or
Did you not
stream
open
down.
your eyes the entire time?
I had to because I had to like catch that thing to go back up.
Yeah.
But when I was falling, maybe for a split second, but no. I was too scared. Like the drop was just quick, windy, and my heart was like, it was dropping. Like, what is going on? The pressure
Yeah.
change. It was crazy, but it was, I think the biggest lesson for me was like telling myself, yes, I can do it and jump. Just that one jump, it filled me with so much courage. But yesterday was something. And then when we were going back, we were all a little injured because Pete had that incident before. I, Appa, and Sumit, we also fell down the stream and they were also equally hurt. Scratches everywhere. And so we were taking our own time to go back. And it gets like pitch dark, like 5:30, 6 p.m. And we were only like 2 miles done when it was already 5:30. And we had to cross 3 river streams again.
Oh my
And we just had no idea how we were going to do that. Like, we were slow, we were mentally blocked, and we just had to get out of the forest, but we had no idea. And then suddenly we saw the bungee jumping guys go back, and they're like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "We need help."
God. Yeah.
And so there were 3 guys. They took like two of us, and then they helped us get out of the forest and like, and they were like screaming at us, "Fast, fast, fast! What are you guys doing?" And then I was like, I think that's like legally blind. My prescription's very high, and I lost my glasses. So on my way back, I hiked without even able to see anything. It was dark. I couldn't tell the difference between a rock and a flat surface. I was injured. It was the hardest thing to do. 5 miles without being able to like properly tell the surface, or like the steps were already like, you have to be very careful of it, or you would just fall down the hill. And it was just the hardest thing. The bungee jumping guy like gave me a leash, and I was holding on to a leash that he like put on himself, tied with himself, because he was like, "Okay, if you're scared, just take this." And then we were out of the forest by like 6:30, and then we went, had a bowl of ramen, came back home, showered, and then I'm still processing it. I'm still
It
processing
sounds
yesterday.
like you just slept on it and then woke up with it.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I had no courage to even wake up today because my whole body was hurting so much. And I was texting you, I
Yeah.
don't think I can do this
Yeah.
podcast. But I was like,
This is probably good for you to like document
yeah,
your thought
I
process
would,
like as
I
it
have
develops.
to. Yep, I have to. And those 45 seconds when I was in the stream and when I was like, okay, I'm dead, I was thinking of how upset my parents are going to be if I die like this. And they were all I could think of. And
Yeah.
I was like, I cannot die because they wouldn't be happy with this. And I didn't even care like what I think about dying like that. I'm just like, my parents are not going to be happy if I die like this.
Were you like, they're going to be like sad, or were you like, they're going to be pissed at me?
I think they're going to be pissed that because they always tell me to take calculated risks, and that was not a wise idea. Like we were definitely overconfident, and we all realized that too after that incident happened, that you're never too prepared. When something happens, it happens. Like, that's why they're called accidents, and so you always gotta be more careful. So we definitely all learned a lesson. We were a little careless, but we didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. And now we are all prepared for our next hike, and we're going to be cautious. But yesterday I realized something about myself, and I'm like, I was able to get out and do this because it's like, when I did that bungee jumping, when I did that stream thing, I was able to like focus and just do it. And so I just learned that I am not the strongest person in this world. In fact, I'm very, very weak, like emotionally, physically, mentally. But I do things, and I do hard things, and I have courage. And no matter what even if I'm not in perfect situation, I always have courage to do things, and I got to give myself more credit for it.
Yeah.
It was life changing for me what happened yesterday.
Yeah. I think it's really good that you like went through and kept doing the whole thing, because I feel like for me, like kind of similar is when I after everything happened, I like still kept driving and still kept going to work. Whereas like I
Yes.
could have turned around and like gone back home and like text my boss and be like, "Hey, I need to take the afternoon off. Like I almost died." Um,
Yeah.
but like the fact that I did it and the fact that I like went through with everything, especially like right after, I feel like made it a lot easier to deal with, I think, because it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh my God, like pulling myself up into just like thinking about it and like freaking out. Um, yeah, so I think it's really good that you guys. That's crazy that they
Kept
made you
going.
like go through the whole thing though, like go through that whole process, and like the fact that you like almost died not bungee jumping, like you would think bungee jumping would be like the
I
like
know
scary,
sometimes,
you know what I mean?
yeah. It was like bungee jumping was like seconds, but the stream, the hike, it was like the biggest part. And that's why like it's always a journey, not the destination. Like the journey was the
Yeah.
hardest
Yeah, you
thing.
gotta survive the journey.
You gotta survive the journey. But also like there's so many people in this world who go through near death experiences, and I feel like I
Yeah.
hope they keep going. I know it's a horrible, terrible thing, but we all need to keep going nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it crying, do it screaming, but do it.
Well, we are both very grateful to be okay, but this has been a good debrief of everything that has happened the last couple of days. It's both very like it's fresh for both of us, and so I think we'll probably do another episode on some like later reflections that we have, and maybe reflections on life and risk. Um, so yeah, looking forward to that, and we will catch up with you again next week.
Bye bye from traumatized Katrina and injured and blind Ananya.
Bye all.